What is up, movie maniacs? Back with another video. And in this one, I've got 4 movies to talk about and 2 new packages to open. And I'm going to be talking about aliens, clowns, dolls, and haunted houses. But let's just get into it. And when I say aliens, I'm talking about Superman. Because he's an alien. I guess he's not aliens in plural. He's just one alien, but still, he's an alien. And I finally watched Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and I watched the Ultimate Edition, which has an additional 30 minutes of extra footage. And this thing was pretty darn long, too. I think it was right around 3 hours in total. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty dang good. I was totally into it. I like the whole Batman vs. Superman thing, even though if Superman was trying, he could kill Batman in like 2 seconds if he was actually trying. That's the only reason that this fight was even competitive, is because Superman is too much of a nice alien. I would say he's a nice guy, but he's a nice alien. And he pretty much let Batman live. So, but let's get into it though. Let's talk about the acting. I thought Amy Adams did another great job as Lois Lane. I think Henry Cavill makes the perfect Superman. I think he's the best Superman ever. I thoroughly enjoy him in that role. He just plays it so perfect. I like it. It was also cool to see Kevin Costner make a little guest appearance. He was only in it for a few minutes, but that was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it. So it was nice to see Kevin Costner. Gal Gadot was hot as hell playing Wonder Woman, even though I'm really not sure why she was in it or why she is, front and center here on the cover when she's barely even in the movie. But regardless, she ain't bad to look at. Man, she is tall too. What is she, like 6'2"? God, she just seems like she's really tall. But that's good. That's what you need for a female superhero. You need someone that's tall. These little short girls walking around at 5'6", that's not believable. You're not gonna sell me as a superhero if you're tiny. Okay, you need to have some height. So yeah, Gal Gadot played the role good. And I liked the guy that played Lex Luthor. What's his name? Jesse Eisman? Whatever. That guy, I mean, I thought he did a good job. That was an interesting character, that version of Lex Luthor. Even though, in my opinion, that's not Lex Luthor. Like I said, it's an interesting character. He was good in the role. It's just that's not Lex Luthor. It's like he was trying to be the Joker or something, trying to act all crazy, and like it just seemed like a knockoff version of the Joker. I feel like anybody can act crazy like that. That's not hard. You can act crazy. So yeah, it was a cool character, like I said, but it wasn't Lex Luthor, in my opinion. That just wasn't how he is. He's more classy. He's more well-spoken. He's not, a crazy psycho running around like the Joker. Am I wrong? If you disagree, let me know. Oh, but my God, that one lady that plays that Senator Finch, who comes out and talks like this, and Superman, and yeah, he needs to be more unilateral. What the why would you put somebody in a movie that talks like they have cerebral palsy? Yeah, I couldn't stand her. She was terrible. Terrible. What's her name? Holly Hunter? Yeah, she talks like this, like part of her face doesn't work. And she just kept being in the movie. I was like, oh my God, she's in every other scene. When she finally got blown up, I actually cheered out loud. I was like, yes, finally, she's gone. She's out of the movie. She was atrocious. Yeah, that's the same one that they got to play in that new Star Trek series where she sits in the captain's chair like this. Okay, guys, warp speed ahead. What the hell? Who would cast that idiot in anything? Does she have blackmail on some of these producers or something? How does she get cast when she sucks that bad? Yeah, that was the worst part of the movie, was Holly Hunter. Dude, she is terrible. Talking like this? I was born on a farm and I know how to fight pigs. Jesus Christ. My God. Yeah, so she was by far the worst part of the movie. Unbearable almost. And now we're getting to Ben Affleck. It's Ben Affleck. What do you expect? He's not that great of an actor. I really didn't think he did a good job at all until the end. Until the end, when they started actually battling, I thought his performance got a little better. But up to that point, I was like, my God, dude, he is just swinging and missing on all these scenes. Just no depth at all. Just seemed like just a monotone, pissed off guy. Just really not a lot of character. Yeah, I didn't like him. Like I said, he did get a little better at the end. I would probably give his performance like I don't know, maybe a C minus overall. Not that great. Not that great. I thought Henry Cavill was much better in his role as Superman. I mean, did you see him when he hip checked the Batmobile? I mean, he just stood there and was like, boom, with his hip and just totally wrecked the Batmobile. I thought that was pretty cool. However, that whole chase scene leading up was terrible. It was all CGI. It looked like shit. That was terrible. That whole chase scene where Batman's trying to get the kryptonite out of the truck. God, that was freaking terrible. They need to take some notes from the Death Race movies. Okay, build some actual cars and wreck some actual real cars. Your movie will be a lot better. But that was all just CGI trash. God, that was terrible. Yeah, I think without a doubt that was the worst action scene in the whole movie. I thought the end was awesome though, even though Doomsday looked like a mutant orc from Lord of the Rings. I didn't think they did a really good job with him either. He looked kind of generic in my opinion. Nothing that really stood out. But that final battle scene was pretty awesome. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was awesome. I mean, for like a comic book movie, I thought it was pretty good. I like when they nuked Superman up in space and he turned into that like mummy looking thing. He was all mummified. I was like, damn, you nuked Superman, dumbasses. And you empowered Doomsday even more. What the hell is wrong with you people? And did I miss when Batman changed his uniform from the all metal suit to his regular Batman suit midway through the final battle? Did I miss that? When did that happen? He's wearing that metal thing because he knows he's going to get his ass kicked by Superman. He knows he's going to get ragdolled through buildings and through brick walls and stuff. So he wears that armor suit. But then at some point, you know, he's fighting alongside Superman and Wonder Woman, and he's got his regular bat suit on. So I'm not sure when he changed. But either way, that was a cool ending scene. Like, I just felt like they had to shoehorn in Wonder Woman into that whole storyline just to like promote her movies or whatever. Like, I don't feel like she really even fit. I mean, it was cool to see her and everything. She did a good job. Like I said, Gal Gadot did a great job. It just seemed a little out of place to me. Like they didn't really need her. They could have just kept it Batman versus Superman, just kept it those two. But my God, it didn't take much to get Batman to join Team Superman. I mean, he was getting ready to kill him. He had him. Dude, all he had to do was stab him with that kryptonite spear and it was done. And then he's like, you know, save Martha. And he's like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? And then like 2 seconds later, he's his best friend. So I was like, that was a quick change. And what is up, like, the ending kind of confused me a little bit because when Lois Lane is in the water trying to get the kryptonite spear, like Superman hears her and he goes over and rescues her, goes in the water, brings the spear out, and it's like he's dying because he got too close to the kryptonite. And she's like holding him and, you know, they're having their little sentimental moment there because he's like, you feel like he's weakened because he got that close to the kryptonite spear. But then like 2 seconds later, he gets all his strength back and then flies through the air with the kryptonite spear and flies right into Doomsday. It's like, how are you flying if you're holding the spear at the same time? Wouldn't that weaken you to where you're not able to fly? So that was a little confusing. However, it was still cool because the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, get the kryptonite spear and just have Superman fly into him, you know, at a super fast speed, just fly right through his chest. And that's pretty much what happened. It was cool though. I mean, like I said, I liked it. And I was just waiting at the end for Superman to come back to life. I was like, come on, show it, show it, show it. Like I was totally excited for that. I was like, you know, he's coming back. And then you show his coffin and the dirt starts to rise up and then they just cut to credits. I was like, damn it. I was like, just go for like another 3 minutes. I want to see him pop out of the casket and fly through the air. That would have been awesome. But that got me thinking, like, should I potentially buy Justice League, the movie. I know the 2017 cut, people shit all over that and they said it was terrible. And then Zack Snyder came out with the 2021 cut that was supposedly a lot better. But should I get one of those movies? Let me know in the comments if you think I should spend a couple bucks and get the Justice League movie. They've got like 15 of them on sale on Vinted. I mean, they're easy to get. And then also, should I pick up the Wonder Woman movie? I know there's two of them. You got the original Wonder Woman and then Wonder Woman 1984, which I heard was not that great. But let me know in the comments if you think I should pick up Justice League or Wonder Woman. Because like I said, they're plentiful on Vinted. I could get those easily. So let me know if you think they're good. But cool, that's enough of Batman versus Superman. I had a lot to say about that. It was a long movie. I had a lot of opinions on it. But overall, I give it 2 thumbs up. I thought it was cool. And next time I watch it, I'm probably just going to watch the theatrical cut and see what they cut out of it. Hopefully they cut out the lady that talks like this and just Superman. Yeah, Superman. God, get her out of the movie. Don't put her in anything else ever. She sucks. She's as bad as Shelley Duvall in The Shining. That's a Shelley Duvall in The Shining type performance. Absolutely atrocious. You're like, stop saying that. I love that movie. It scares the heck out of me. I shit my pants every time I watch it. I have always shit my pants. I ruined a couch. Okay, I hope nobody clips that last part and takes it out of context because I don't shit my pants. I'm just saying. Anyways, let's move on to the next movies here. I went ahead and I watched 3 more from my Best of Horror 10 film collection because there were 3 movies in here that I hadn't seen yet. So I went ahead and I watched them. And let's just go in order here. I started with Annabelle. And I was not expecting much. I was not expecting anything at all. I was going in with like the lowest expectations. And at the beginning, when he's talking to his neighbor, I thought that was Meatloaf. It looked just like Meatloaf. So I had to Google it, and it was not Meatloaf. It's just a guy that looks like Meatloaf. And it got me thinking, like a movie about Meatloaf might be more entertaining. Like Revenge of Meatloaf. Meatloaf Gone Bad. I don't know. But it wasn't Meatloaf. However, though, the movie wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was a pleasant little surprise. I thought the wife was kind of flat in her role. Beautiful woman. Amazingly beautiful. It's just, I just thought her performance was just a little meh. She didn't really do anything to, steal the scenes or anything like that. She just was mediocre, average at best. The husband, same thing. But I did like the story. I like the story of the 2, satanic cult members breaking in and stabbing her when she was pregnant. That whole scene was pretty good. And it's amazing how they were able to pull off that entire movie without having Annabelle really do anything. At no point did Annabelle like turn her head or do anything like that. It was like a stationary doll the whole time. Yeah, so I mean, it was interesting. Like I said, I thought it was a good suspenseful horror movie. Way better than The Shining. Actually, all the movies I watched were better than The Shining. Hell, Operation Dumbo Drop is better than The Shining. Moving on, the next one that I watched was The Conjuring. And the movie starts off, and I thought I was watching Annabelle again. Because it starts off the exact same way as Annabelle. Same scene, same actors, talking about the exact same thing. Literally, I had to go pull, my little collection out. And I looked, and I'm like, no, there's the Annabelle disc. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and then it dawned on me. I was like, okay, that's why the guy sold it, because they screwed up and put Annabelle on 2 discs. I'm going, what the? But I remember seeing, the title of The Conjuring on the menu. So I was like totally confused. So I'm fast forwarding. I'm like, is this really Annabelle? I fast forward and then I see The Conjuring title screen come up, and I was like, okay, this is a different movie, but it's crazy because they kind of intertwined Annabelle with The Conjuring, which I thought was cool, and I'm glad that I watched Annabelle first instead of watching The Conjuring first, because that might have spoiled a little bit of Annabelle. But yeah, they intertwined the 2 movies, and like I said, it was just confusing at the beginning, but it took off on its own story, and it's just a stereotypical haunted house movie where doors are opening and the ghost is banging on stuff. It's just like, oh my God, this is so played out. Total average, nothing special, just a run-of-the-mill haunted house movie. It reminded me of a mashup between The Exorcist, Amityville Horror, Poltergeist, and The Brady Bunch. Like, if you put all those together, you end up with The Conjuring. And it's like they had the Temu version of Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm like, is that Jamie Lee Curtis? Like, it looks like her. I had to do a couple double takes because, like, is that her? I was like, that's like the thick version of Jamie Lee Curtis. Thick. T-H-I-C-C. Thick. It was just so average. Like, totally predictable. Nothing special happened in it. Yeah, I'd say that that's average at best. I thought the coolest part about that whole movie was the way that they intertwined Annabelle into it. Like, that was the best part. But at the end, you know, they have to do an exorcism and just a bunch of yelling and screaming. And it's like the same old thing just over and over. I really can't get into haunted house movies too much. I don't think they're ever that great. They all just seem like they're the same thing, always. It's like, if you're going to be a ghost, why don't you do something more than like open and close a door to be scary? Like, that's what's scary? Knocking on stuff and opening doors. It's just like, give me a break, man. Anyways. So then I finished it up with It from 2017. I had never seen that before. I thought it was good. I liked that movie. That was great. That reminded me of if you crossed Stand By Me with The Funhouse or something like that. I loved the characters. I loved the character development. I mean, in the first opening scene, before the credits even roll, you've already got one awesome kill where the kid is like sailing his boat down the water and he's talking to Pennywise in the sewer, and then Pennywise bites his arm off and drags him into the sewer and kills him. I was like, wow, they did all that before they even had the title screen. I was like, awesome. That was like better than the whole Conjuring movie in total. So it was good. I liked it. I liked the kids. I liked the dynamic between all the kids. I liked the way that they cussed. I mean, that's how kids are. That's how we were. Dude, when we weren't around adults, every other word was like the F-bomb. It was like South Park or something. So yeah, I thought that was great. I love the dialogue. Like I said, it had some awesome visual, like, horror scenes. Like when the girl's in the bathroom and all that blood splashing around and everything just turns dark. Like, that's badass. Or like when Eddie takes the table bump from the second floor of the haunted house, falls through the floor and just crashes through the table, takes a back bump, and then breaks his arm. I was like, damn, that was a nice table bump. That would have made the Dudley boys jealous. Great job. I did think the ending drug out a little too long when they're down there fighting Pennywise. I thought that was a little long. It was starting to lose me a little bit, but still it was great with all the kids floating around. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Like, I like that so much that I'm probably going to buy the individual copy of that when I see it for cheap. I'm probably going to get that. I've seen that they do have, 2 additional sequels as well. So one of these days I'm going to have all 3 of them. There might be more, but I know that there's a chapter 1, a chapter 2, and then that newest one, Return to Derry or whatever. I keep seeing that on other people's videos when they go to Walmart and they film all the movies that are at Walmart. They always show that new It movie. But yeah, it was good. And I might even go back and get the original too. The one that was from before that. The one where the kid, defeats Pennywise with his asthma inhaler. Yeah. So anyways, had a fun time watching those horror movies. Had a nice little horror fest going on today. But without further ado, let's get into the new releases. And I don't have a lot of new releases coming anymore. I think I've only got like maybe 12 on the list. And then I'm going to be out. All right. And we've got another Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. Hercules Extended Cut. Yeah, I did a quick Google search on this to see if it was any good. And people said it's a fun movie. So I was like, all right, let's get it. I love these sword and sorcerer type movies. I like The Rock. I figured for a couple bucks, let's go ahead and get it. Not to mention it is brand new and unopened. So yeah, hopefully that's good. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't blow a couple bucks, but that's cool. All right. Looking forward to that one. And then last on the list here, I think I already know what this is because I accidentally saw the email come through. All right. Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy. And in my opinion, this is an Eddie Murphy must-have. This, along with The Golden Child and the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy, are must-haves. This is a classic 80s movie. I love it. I was glad to get it. Let's check this disc, though, because the seller had this rated as good. So I always question that when they say it's good instead of very good. It always makes me wonder. Oh, heck yes. That's perfect. Not a scratch on it. See, so you got to take that little rating that they give it for the condition. You got to take that with a grain of salt. You just got to use your instinct. I like to look at the outside cover, and if the outside cover is in good condition, usually the disc is in good condition. But if you see the outside cover and it's got like rips and tears in it and stuff, I probably would stay away from that because the disc is probably going to be trashed too. But yeah, this is a classic. This was on my list. So I get to go ahead and scratch that one off. Excellent movie. Man, this is so funny. This is awesome. Fuck you and fuck you too. Great. How can you not love that? Excellent movie. Excellent movie. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And until the next video, y'all, peace.